Agenda item number 20, discussion regarding the internal control review of the Community Development Division.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, again, Vice Mayor and Commissioners. This is in relationship to the recent review that our City Attorney's Office has been doing the past couple weeks into the CHODO, which is a Community Housing Development Organization, as well as CDBG. Mr. Parkin, along with Mr. Ferguson, have been working with Sharon Cruz, who's been the lead attorney on this internal review. After discussing it with them and also sending Mr. Parkin and Mr. Ferguson down to meet with the Housing and Urban Development Department, it'd be my recommendation that we go out and hire this firm, Kessler International, who did a similar review in Fort Pierce, Florida, a few months ago, to come in for a price not to exceed $30,000. It looks like it's going to be more of around the $15,000 range to look at the CHODO as well as certain functions of the CDBG. This would be an outside review, and we may be suspending certain operations of the Community Development Division. And we may also be taking other actions, which I will not discuss up here on the dais at this time. Mr. Morotis and I have talked with Mr. Kessler, who does own this firm, and we both feel that he can do this job in about a 2 to 3 week time frame. If you have any questions, feel free to ask either Mr. Morotis or Ms. Cruz or myself.
Vice Mayor?
Yeah, do you really have to spend that much? Well,
Yeah.
I could go along with that if you don't exceed $15,000 because the office is not that really big. And
Yes.
everybody know what's going on in that office from day one.
Vice Mayor, I would disagree with you on a couple of those points. Number one, the CDBG program, as well as CHODO, is not a really simple process. It is complicated, as you very well know. So from
It's
the
not
point
simple.
of personnel, yes, it is a small office. However, that process is not, but there are some internal control issues that we do need
Needs to be
to
okay, but-
review, and it needs to be reviewed by an outside.
Okay, if you had to go up, to the $30,000, could you take that out of CDBG funding, or will you be taking that out of the cookie jar, as he calls it?
We would probably be taking this out of general fund dollars. We would not be using HUD dollars or CDBG dollars to look at this time.
I think considering the dollars that are at stake here and considering the potential penalties we may be facing, should there be some type of problems there, I think the dollar amount is minuscule compared to what we may end up getting in trouble. Find out whether we have been following proper procedures all along. If we have, we can get it straightened out. If we haven't, we can go ahead and try to resolve it and move forward. But there are some major issues from what I've been told there that I'm extremely concerned about. I just got a letter from Andy Morotis that was put in my box about concerning the Arlington Park Family and outreach program that we have. That we have given out public dollars to that are not even willing to respond to our city attorney when they're requesting basic information. I don't understand why we have that type of that lack of cooperation. So whatever it is, obviously we're getting pounded on about it. We're not getting cooperation, and that's got to end. I don't know what we need to do to amp that
I
up.
don't know what
Excuse me, you don't have the floor. This is something that's been in the background, and I applaud you, for Burgess, for taking the initiative to bring it forward. We have a tendency to spend money, sometimes like drunken sailors, and $30,000 to possibly keep us out of trouble or get things straightened out is a drop in the bucket. I think it's long overdue.
I've been in office about 10 months. I feel like every single day I've got an email on my BlackBerry reminding me about the unaccountable funds we've given to different organizations. Should not even be an appearance of evil. Good intentions or not, people that receive money need to account for the money.
We get here on the dais, we sort of like don't like to bring out the whole. I don't have no qualms. I don't have no say-so. The Cholo was appointed by Gwen Clark Reed and Mayor Nolan was on the board at the time. I don't have a thing to do with that Cholo. Never had anything to do with it. I don't have nothing to hide. I want the press and everybody else to know, all the way to the Department of Justice. The department has never been ran right. Everything I know about it, I'm going to tell it. And you don't need to waste that money. You need to sit down and go through like you're going. You got enough people in the county. You got all these attorneys. All you have to do is sit down and tell the truth. And the truth will set you free. So I'm ready for whatever you want, and I will make a motion that we spend $1 million to find out what's going on. Outreach work, I think the focal point can justify what those people did. They did much more than the $30,000 if Donna would come forward. Taking all elderly people out of homes, these hot homes. They acquired air conditioning units from minority builders and weatherization. There's a lot of work they did. I don't know why they won't report. Don't make no innuendo that I have anything to do with it, because Dan Fortier was a Cholo person, West Side businessman person before I became a commissioner. And this Chaz Stevens is making all this fuss, telling all those written lies about the Fortiers. It does not require. I don't have a problem. I am as transparent, I am as honest as my past 30 years.
Vice Mayor, you brought this up, and you talked about Dan, and obviously there's some relationship there. Is there going to be
I keep telling you that man is no kin to me.
That's all I'm asking is if you could clarify that, because I want to make sure there's no conflict on this motion.
I done told you that 1,000 times.
Okay.
I'm married to one of their cousins, and I stayed with him, and I was literally divorced March 12th of 1992. How many times I got to say that?
No, well, it's like what you said. You want to make sure there's no innuendo. You want to clarify it.
Can't be no.
You just clarified it. You just clarified it.
No, Mayor, don't do that, because he needs a clarification. We can't talk out of the sunshine.
Go ahead.
I made it very clear that I was married to a Portier. My name is Ferguson. Sylvia Ferguson. I'm here, and you're going to penalize all the Portiers for me? No, it's going to have to be some changing with the Smiths and the other folks, too. I'm ready tomorrow to call the Department of Justice. What are you talking about? With as much independent so-called people we got working in, with all of the family members working in the city, what are you fixing to open? More than a can of worm, caterpillars and everything else coming out on this one.
I'm just trying to get clarification for your benefit.
If
you're going to tell me that there's no conflict of interest and there's no problem there, then that's fine, ma'am. That is fine.
I never had a conflict.
Okay.
I just want to clarify for the public that this is not a criminal investigation, and right now we do not feel that there's any criminal matter here. This is an internal control review.
I tell you, before I get through with it, it'll be misrepresented. Make the motion that we hire an outside firm to investigate the Community Development Block Grant Office.
Up to 30,000?
No, I said $1 million. You didn't hear me?
Oh, my. 30,000.
I second.
You second the 30,000, is that?
Roll call, please.
Doesn't matter
Yes.
what it costs.
Commissioner Gantz,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Popelski, Vice Mayor Portier, and
Yes.
Mayor
Glad Commissioner Gans asked tonight, because I didn't know he was thinking I was still a Portier.
No,
I better get married on Easter.
No, ma'am. I think the question was, we know what's been said out there. It's time, like you said, to clear the air, to make sure everybody knows what's going on. There's been allegations left and right.
Yeah.
To give the opportunity to make sure there's no
Nobody but that Chaz
conflict.
Stevens. You
Well,
can't straighten him out. But I'm going to get married. I'll change my name.